Yes.
Right, case number 1CD182, the Porch Carryout and Grill LLC versus Stephen Lee Bowman, Bobby Joe Bowman, Bowman Technology Group LLC. The hearing on a judgment filed on plaintiff. The defendant has been served and not found an answer of one. The plaintiff represented by Hannah, and you are Jasmine. What's your name, ma'am? Can you identify yourself, Jasmine?
Yes. Jasmine Ramos, J-A-Z-M-E-N, last name is B-R-A-M Lopez.
Porch. All right. The question in the court is a couple of things. To clarify the parties to the action, which should be granted, and then also the damages. And just if you could address in your evidence, I see that the quotes from the Bowman Technology Group doesn't use LLC, and so we'll need to have evidence to correct which person that should have judged granted against them. So
Step away.
and you have your photo ID there, Ms. Ramos, so we can further identity for the record. All right, thank you. You'll raise your right hand, before, please. You saw this over the testimony about the truthful Right. Keep the chain down, thank you. All right, you may inquire, Ms. Business. Well, I may have to, I'll warn you, I may have to stop the hearing for a couple of minutes. The reason I'm from the phone is because I'm expecting a repairman who was going to be here between 12 and 2, and looks like he'll be closer to 2. So,
That's okay.
yeah.
That's fine, Judge. All right. You could just state your name again for the record. Jasmine.
Jasmine Ramos. Home address is 5530 Swamp Road, Winchester, Ohio 45697.
Okay. And it looks like we're having a little bit of connection difficulties, so we may go through these rather slowly. Okay.
Okay.
Could you please address how you are connected to the Porch Carryout and Grill LLC?
I manage the day-to-day operations, and I am named as an owner, and I handle all of the.
Is it froze up on your end, Judge?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You better text her and tell her to
I'm going
log
to
off
right
and log
now.
back in.
Yeah.
All right, she's back now.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were frozen up there for a minute. Okay, go ahead.
And just to clarify, you help manage day-to-day operations with the Porch Carryout and Grill LLC, correct?
Yes.
And you were in charge of hiring contractors for the construction aspect of the Porch's day-to-day operations, correct?
Correct. I serve as an owning partner as well.
Okay. And so it's safe to say you are one of the custodians of records at the Porch Carryout and Grill LLC.
Yes.
Okay. On or about March 18th, 2021, did you hire Steve and Bobby Joe Bowman, doing business as Bowman Technology Group, to supply security and audio video installation at the Porch Carryout and Grill?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I'm going to direct everyone to the packet of exhibits I provided to the court earlier.
Yes, I have those right in front of me.
Thank you. I'm going to direct you, Jasmine, to Plaintiff's Exhibit 1. Is this a copy of the invoice and contract you signed with Bobby Joe Bowman and Bowman Technology Group for services?
Yes, at the time of deposit.
Okay. We would like to enter into evidence your Honor Plaintiff's Exhibit 1.
Right, that's submitted.
Okay. And what was the total value of that contract?
I'm not sure if it's in the exhibit. I don't want to get too far off my screen and lose, but that amount, the deposit should have been about half. So I think it was around $40,000, but the deposit was about $21,000.
Okay.
Which they wanted us to pay the entire thing up front, which I refused to do.
Okay. But you did make an initial payment to them of $21,548.28. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that was for half of the value of the contract.
Correct, and that was supposedly just to, start buying materials, and then we wouldn't owe anything until a significant amount of the work was complete.
Okay. I'm going to direct you to Pleas Exhibit 2, which was provided to yourself in court earlier today. Is this a true and accurate representation of the check that was made out to Bowman Technology Group for that deposit?
Yes, I handed it to Bobby herself.
And that check was cashed and redeemed?
Yes.
Okay. We would like to enter into evidence Plaintiff's Exhibit number 2, Your Honor.
All right, submitted.
In July of 2021, did you request that Mr. Bowman give you a timeline for when the work would be completed in accordance with the contract previously listed as Exhibit 1?
Yes, I gave him about a 2 to 4 week notice saying that he would be ready for his services to start.
Okay. And as of July 2021, had you ever seen him on site or been given any documentation that he had purchased any materials for the project?
No, the only thing he was on site for was a couple of meetings just to get clarification of timelines and when he would be expected to be here.
Okay. And did he ever, or when you sent that notification in July, did he ever correspond that he was going to come out and start to commence work?
No, he demanded payment in full before he would return to the site and begin work.
Okay. And in accordance with the contract, were you to pay him in full before work commenced, or was that to be paid after work was completed?
After work was completed.
Okay. The money that you gave him, the $21,548.28, did you ever receive any refund of any of that money?
No.
And did you notify Mr. Bowman and Bowman Technology Group that you were terminating their contract or failure to comply with the terms of that contract?
Yes.
After terminating Bowman Technology Group, did you have to hire new contractors to complete the work that they were contracted for?
Yes, we had to hire 3 additional contractors to do the work that they had promised.
Okay. I'm going to direct you back to the pages that were provided to the court. Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, is this a true and accurate copy of the contract with Superior Alarm LLC that had to be entered into for security purposes?
Yes.
And were these services that should have been rendered under Bowman's initial contract?
Correct.
And based upon that exhibit, did you pay Superior Alarm LLC $26,908.37 to complete the work?
Yes.
Was contracted for under Bowman's contract?
Yes, they were paid in full after the work was complete.
We'd like to enter into evidence, Your Honor, Plaintiff's Exhibit 3.
Right, that's submitted.
Did you also hire Alamo Electronics to do installation of audio and video components in the Porch Restaurant Grill that were comparable to those contracted for with Bowman Technology?
Yes.
Okay. And to direct you back to the statement here, Plaintiff's Exhibit 4, is this a true and accurate copy of the invoice prepared by Alamo Electronics for those services?
Yes, the only thing that would differ is we were going to purchase the TVs ourselves, and Alamo preferred to purchase the TVs themselves to make sure that their software would work correctly with what they were installing.
So there were additional services contemplated under this invoice outside of what Bowman was supposed to be?
Yes.
Under the
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it was a little bit of a difference.
Okay. Would you approximate that about $50,000 of what was paid for under Alamo Electronics invoice would have been in lieu of what you would have paid Bowman Technology?
It's probably a good guess, but I couldn't be exactly sure without getting too far into the numbers.
But it's a good guess of what.
Yes, ma'am.
Would cover the services that Alamo had to do that Bowman did not.
Correct.
Okay. We'd like to enter into evidence, Your Honor, Plaintiff's Exhibit 4, which is the invoice for services from Alamo Electronics Incorporated.
I'm going to reserve ruling on that. I have a few questions after your saying.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. So at this time, have you heard anything from Bowman Technology Services as of the date of this hearing?
No, ma'am.
Have they offered to refund any of the money that was provided to them in March of 2021?
No, as soon as I retained your services, I have not heard anything, nor have I tried to reach out.
Okay. And so are you asking for judgment against the defendants in the following amounts? For $21,548.28 for the money that was issued to Bowman Technology for which you received those services under the contract. For $26,908.37 for the services you had to contract with Superior Alarm for, which were services that were contemplated under the Bowman Technology contract.
Yes.
And for approximately $50,000, which would be the money you paid to Alamo Electronics Inc. for services that should have been done under the original Bowman Technology contract.
Yes.
So it would be a total of $98,456.65.
Yes.
I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor. We would just ask that the court enter all the exhibits permitted into the record.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bramos has some questions. Here, Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, Plaintiff's Exhibit 1. It references, there's 4 deposits, individual deposits, and it refers to 4 estimates, 1485, 1486, 1488, 1489. Do you have copies of those?
Yes, and I believe I have those somewhere. Whenever we broke it down and on those other deposits, it says that it's for Lady Bird, and Hannah may have that in the initial stuff that I sent her, but I'm sure I can get a hold of it.
Well, here's what I'm trying to figure out. My understanding from the Exhibit 1 is that the total contract was for $43,096.59. It says there at the bottom of the screen, you indicated you didn't want to, scroll down and lose. But it says under notes, total project $43,096.59, and then deposit 50% of approval of $21,548.29. And the work that you had done by by Superior is more than double that.
Right.
And so my problem is, it would appear to me that Alamo must have done a lot more than what was quoted to you. I guess I can't award a judgment for what you paid, not Alamo, I got that on my Superior Alarm, unless it's apples to apples. I can't do oranges for apples. And so that's what I'm getting at. So, and just to clarify, the original contract was $26,908.30. I'm sorry, not that wrong. $43,096.59. And you say you think you paid approximately $50,000 for what would have been done by then. Okay. So then it sounds like you're saying then that everything beyond that was a lot more than what you had contracted with the defendants with.
Right, and you have to remember too, obviously the construction process is a very fluid process. So this was in March, and we really got into installing with Bowman and, with Alamo Superior Alarm 6 to 9 months later, and you realize that you need different things, or
right. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, then you had to pay approximately, in your judgment, $50,000 for what would have cost you $43,096.59 from them.
And another huge issue was the supply chain issue. We
Well,
had to
sure.
change our
And I'm sure
product.
prices were going up, I'm sure. Yeah,
Exactly,
okay.
exactly, Judge.
All right, so then it seems to me like you're out 26,908.37, which you paid them, I'm sorry, 21,548.39, 29 is what you paid. All right, the entire project would have been 43,096.59, and so if you had paid another 70,000 above that, I mean 50,000 total, that would be a 6,900 more than what you would have paid then.
And then 50 to hour. One was for security measures and one was for audio-visual measures, and both of those were included under the Bowman Technology exhibit. I do have the breakdown.
Okay, that's the problem I'm having here. I can't see that the prices went up from 46,000 to 43,000 to 100,000 or 98,000. What I understand she just said was, the text was that of that $98,000 that you had exhibit 4, that you answered the question, she approximated 50,000 of that is what would have been paid for the length of exhibit 1.
That was for the audio video component, which was, I actually have the technology contract.
I guess I'm gonna have to, here's the problem you have with the contract, hearing contract damages. I have to make sure that the damages that are gonna be awarded are for the same work. And inevitably what happens in construction projects, and I did many construction cases as a lawyer and as a judge, I represented a lot of contractors, represented a lot of owners. And the measure of damages is always complicated because what happens is what I think she just described in her testimony is that when they started getting into it, they expanded, did more, put in a more robust system. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean.
And it was included in the $98,000.
Exactly.
And so that's not part of what Bowman would have provided.
Some of it was, some of it wasn't. So
right,
I
and that's what I'm trying to bring out. I can award you damages for what Superior installed that Bowman shouldn't. And the damages would be the 43,000, or actually would be the 21,548.29 plus any additional amount that you paid above projected contract price, which I calculate at this point based on your testimony to be about $6,904.24 because you said it was about $50,000 to do $43,000 worth of work. You didn't have to pay the other half, so I can't make them pay you that back because you never paid. So it seems to me that the damages here are 21,548.29, and the difference between what they were supposed to do and what didn't, and what the Superior did and charged you for. And at this point, you're indicating that's about $50,000 because this is the only contract you had, right?
Well, can I try to add some clarification here?
I'd be glad to have that.
Yes, when Bowman did not follow through with their contract, we presented both Exhibit 3 and 4, and there were two separate contractors that had to be hired to complete all of Bowman's.
But see, that's the problem I have, Ms. Nivens. You don't have the detailed work. And I just understood her testimony to be that, you asked her, she said about $50,000 of what she had to pay to do the work Bowman did, and then the other $48,000 represents other stuff that they did. Is that a fair description of your testimony, Ms. Ramos?
It's you
Okay,
can
I
say
think
that.
the contractor, let me put a recess in two to talk, and then go ahead and go off the record, let them talk.
Okay.
And I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, Jasmine, so I have the full contract that Bowman had all the breakdown on.
Uh-huh.
picking my own contract. Okay. Are we back on, man?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, go ahead, Ms. Evans.
I apologize. I do have the full contract, and I spoke with my client, and he kind of clarified what the issue was here. And yes, there was some upgrade in what was established, at least for audio video, and as you can see on Exhibit 4, the total was 112,364.38, and based upon the original contract, we thought around 50,000 was what was paid. I have the original contract. I can, if we could get a few minutes, I can fax that over to Marcia and have her get it to you, so we can enter that in, so you can see what the comparison
Okay,
is.
but again, you just said, what's the significant, you just said $50,000, which is what I understood she said she paid to do the work that Bowman was supposed to do.
Just on the audio visual component. If you look
Well,
at
see, I can't even tell from this, because what I have here on your Exhibit 1, you have 1485, which is security intrusion. I'm not sure what that is. 16-channel DVR security, which sounds like a recorder. And then an 8-channel DVR security, sounds like another recorder. And then audio video, and I don't know what that means. And I guess here's the problem that I have, that, you know, and I don't know if you can do it unless you have a continuance, which I'll give you if you want. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to have somebody go through and describe all these things so that it's clear that I'm only granting judgment for work they should have done or product they should have provided that they did not. Now, if it's a question that the products are different, then I can't make them pay for a product that was a higher quality product than what they were going to provide.
Yeah.
And so I mean, that's the problem. And again, you know, I have a real detailed breakdown from Superior, but unless the breakdown that you have on Plans Exhibit 4 can be matched up with Bowman, then I don't know that I'm going to be able to go any further than order them to repay what they paid, and then to the extent that you can prove that the work that you have described in the Bowman proposals was the cost more, then I'll grant you judgment for that amount. And so right now we're looking at $46,000. So to me the issue is this: they had a contract for $43,096.59. What I want to know is how much did the plaintiff have to pay for the same work that was described in those 4 estimates?
Okay.
If they can prove that.
Which is kind of a little difficult for apples to apples, because each contractor prefers
that's what the law requires. Yeah, I'm going to have to have apples to apples. I can't compare apples and oranges. So, I mean, if you want to, I can continue this in progress, Ms. Bivens, and give you some time to go over that with your client and try to be able to do that.
I think we should do that, because we do have a detailed list from Bowman as well.
The other thing I'm going to, excuse me, is when was the work done by Superior, Ms. Abramos?
It would have been done late summer, early fall, and they still have to come every once in a while now to tweak the names as needed now that we're in operation.
Yeah, I understand that. We have the same thing when we put in our system beforehand. And you expected the work to start in July from these folks, and that didn't happen. And then when did the work start from Superior?
After that, because we called him saying, like, you know, hey, we need this to start immediately, because they're wanting to close up the walls. So he had to put other work off and basically squeeze us in. So it would have been about the same time, but you know, he missed out on work. He delayed other jobs because of us.
All right. Well, again, so I mean, again, it appears like then that the timeline is not going to be. I don't see we're going to have a real big issue in terms of increased cost because of the delay in time, because it sounds like they got in on it pretty quickly. So, but again, whatever the increased cost was for the same work that was supposed to be done, I'll grant judgment between what the contract called for, $43,096.59, and what you actually paid. But it'll have to describe the same work, and then subtracted from that will be 1/2 because you didn't pay them that. And then, so that'll be the measured damage. Okay, so, Ben,
Yes.
why don't you get, the calendar there from Marcia, or have her come in with a calendar, and we'll see about a, date to continue this too.
Okay.
How far out?
Okay, and Marcia, I don't know, week or 10 days. I know next week's kind of busy, and I'll be down in Claremont County again for 2 days, so maybe the week after.
February 22nd.
How's that for you, Ms. Bivens?
The 22nd is the only day I'm not available.
No, okay, all right.
I'm
Pick
so
another day.
sorry.
No, that's all right, that's all right.
Go ahead to March. March 3rd in the morning.
You're muted, Ms. Bivens.
Yep, there we go. I'm downstairs in the juvenile court on a full day hearing on the 3rd. March 4th. Good morning. As long as it's after 9. I'm downstairs in a hearing at 8:30, but it should be over by 9.
Make it say 9:30. All right. All right, then we'll continue until then. Continue this in progress.